Hi. Last time I made a video, I talked about this old hat, how many people would ask about this old hat. I promised I'd tell you a little bit about it. It was about 18 years ago. I was out in my shop. It was a Saturday. I'd been working since the sun was down. And about mid-afternoon, I was working on the last 3 pieces of beautiful redwood that I had on 3 new flutes. And I don't know what happened, but for some reason, every one of those flutes went way out of tune, and it was almost like they just decided to give up and not be flutes. So I headed for the house. I took the 3 flutes with me and I put them in the fire pit that was right outside my studio door, my shop door, and figured I'd burn them next time I had a fire. And I went on in the house and got a cup of coffee and sat down and watched TV. Well, my wife Rebecca, she knows me pretty well. She came in and she asked me what was wrong. And all I could say was, I'd lost the gift. She said, "What do you mean you lost the gift?" And I said, "I've been working on these 3 flutes since before the sun come up, and everything was fine, and all of a sudden they just left." I said, "I've lost the gift. I'm not a flute maker anymore. I have to find something else to do." And she smiled and she said, "Well, why don't we go get something to eat?" So we went up the road to this place called a Cracker Barrel. And that's where we like to eat. It was up in Harrison, Ohio. And we went in to get a table, and it was going to be a while. So we decided we would just go around and look at the country store and see what they had. We were walking around and she picked up this old hat that was sitting on the shelf, and she placed it on my head and she says, "How's that fit?" I said, "Well, it's a perfect fit." She says, "That's because it's a flute maker's hat." And she proceeded to buy me that hat. So we had dinner and went back, and the next morning I got up, I put on my new flute maker's hat, and I went back out to my shop, and on the way I picked those 3 flutes up out of the fire pit. Took all 3 into my shop and went to work on them. By the end of the day, they all played beautiful, just as I had planned. They had a sound like I'd never heard before. They just so rich and so full. And they turned out to be pretty nice flutes. So I can't really say that there was magic in the hat. I can't really say that, but I do believe that when she placed that hat on my head and spoke those words that it was a flute maker's hat, that she put the medicine in that hat. And I still wear that hat. You know, it's been 18 years. It's got a lot of wear, but whenever I'm challenged on a flute or having trouble with a flute, I can rely on this old hat to help me find my way through. So that's the story of this old hat. I probably won't part with it. Probably have it till the day they put me down. So just wanted to share everybody and let you know what this old hat's all about. Thanks for stopping by today.